Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Science Rocks. Today's lesson will be about substances. Substances are found everywhere. Our first discussion on substances will be substances in a mixture. A mixture is when two or more substances are mixed together and can be separated out because their atoms are not combined. In the pictures below, you will see candy, nuts, molecules, and flowers. These are only a few examples of substances that can be separated easily. Another would be sand and iron filings. Due to the magnetic attraction of iron, separating these substances could be easily done using a magnet. The next part of our discussion will deal with solutions. A solution is a mixture in which substances break down into their most basic particles. These particles are too small to be seen and spread evenly throughout a substance. Pictured below, you can see lemonade. Lemonade can be a solid dissolved into a liquid, such as the sugar and water, or a liquid dissolved in a liquid, such as the lemon juice dissolved into the water. On the other side, you can see how a gas can be dissolved into a liquid with soda pop. The carbon dioxide that is spread out evenly within soda pop is the gas. Physical properties are the way that we describe an object using traits that can be observed and measured without changing the substances into something else. This means that we will be using our five senses. We can find out the mass of an object, how much material it is made up of. We can discover a physical property through odor, texture, is it smooth or is it rough? The elasticity, does it stretch like a rubber band? Magnetism, can it attract if a magnet is put nearby? The melting point, when it goes from a solid to a liquid, and its hardness. A physical change is when we change the way a substance looks, but not the way it is made. We could tear something, melt it, freeze it, boil it, grind it up, fold it up, or use a scissors to cut it up. Such as if we take a piece of paper and we fold it to make a paper airplane. That paper is still paper. It has not changed the way the substance is made or what it is made up of, but we have changed its shape or its look. Another example would be if we took peanuts and put them into a blender. We could grind them up so that they look like peanut butter. They are still peanuts. When we change the way a substance looks, it is generally associated with states of matter. There are four states of matter. The first is a solid. That means a substance has a definite shape and volume. If it is a liquid, it has a definite volume, but it will take the shape of the container. Gases, on the other hand, take the shape of the container and will use up all the available space. Plasma is the final state of matter. This is when a substance takes up the whole container and will take up the container's shape. That means if it is out in the air, it will take up any amount of space available. Plasma, however, if a magnetic field is nearby, can be changed into a straight line or a beam, such as a laser. Here are the words associated with changing states of matter. When we take a liquid and put it under extreme cold temperatures, it will freeze or solidify. In reverse, if we take an ice cube, which is a solid, and apply it to heat, it will melt or liquefy. We can also take a liquid and add heat to it, and it will cause evaporation, which turns the liquid into a gas. On the other hand, if we take a gas and we add coolness to it, it will turn into a liquid called condensation. Solids and gases can be changed back and forth into one another in a form called sublimation. Finally, all substances have chemical properties. The chemical property describes the way a substance reacts with other substances. For instance, if something is flammable, which means it burns easily, That is one of its chemical properties. If a substance is corrosive or acidic, that means it will react to air, forming something such as rust, which is corrosive, or acidic, which may mean that it eats away parts of the substance. A substance can also be toxic, which means that when mixed together, it creates a poisonous characteristic. Chemical changes occur when a new substance is formed with new properties. If we take a look at the pictures below, we have something such as a green tomato. When the sun's energy turns that green tomato into a red tomato, it now has a new property. It has a very different taste, and it also reacts differently when we use it in the kitchen. Another chemical change occurs when we bake cake in the oven. The heat that is applied to cake batter changes the cake batter from a liquid to a solid. If we continue to add heat to that solid, it will burn. So a new substance has been created. Another example of this would be wood in the fireplace. When we add a flame to the wood, it burns the wood and changes it into a substance called ash. Ash is not a flammable substance. And last but not least, a chemical reaction is the process in which one or more substances are different from the original substance. If we take baking soda and add vinegar to it, it will create carbon dioxide and a watery, foamy liquid. Another example of this would be gold and pyrite. Gold is a substance that does not react with acid. Pyrite, on the other hand, which is fool's gold, will react to hydrochloric acid. It will create a strong odor and it will foam. This is how miners know that fool's gold is not actual gold. I hope you enjoyed this final lesson of how elements react.